Oh, hey there. No, I wonder if people really know how often they're seen on security cameras like this one. You know, shops, malls, restaurants, convenience stores. The average American has spent a lot of time on camera without even auditioning for the part. You know, cameras like this one spend hundreds, even thousands of hours doing their job before they capture something important. And you know, when you think about it, security and safety precautions that we humans take are a lot like this camera. If we're observing and making the effort every day and we're prepared for whatever might arise, then we're doing our jobs too.
Over the course of your employment here at the theater, you might need to mop up dozens of spills, make sure doors are locked hundreds of times, check lighting thousands of times, and use good judgment on your entrance and exit to the building every time here. And each time you take one of these precautions is as important as the first.
And ideally, neither you or another employee or any of our guests ever has the misfortune of being in an accident or a dangerous situation. But all it takes is the one time, one instant even. Could mean anything from a minor injury to a tragedy. For you, for someone you know, or for someone who just wanted to see a movie.
Now, safety and security aren't really thrilling or exciting issues, and they tend to be things that we don't think about until it's too late. But you need to keep in mind that this is a place that attracts thousands of people every day. People going opposite directions, people walking up ramps or stairs in subdued lighting, people eating and drinking. And then there's you, serving those food and drinks, helping people find their seats, and handling lots and lots of cash. You have to keep your eye on every detail every day. The smallest oversight can become a big problem if it's not attended to in a timely, proper fashion. So here are some things you need to know that can greatly reduce the chance that you, your coworker, or our guests will become victims of an accident or incident during your employment here in the movie business.
Watch closely.
Perhaps the greatest enemy of theater safety is the spill. To combat this enemy, you'll need one of these, and one of these.
Could you go grab a mop? Sure. I'll stay right here.
One employee should stay on the scene to direct patrons around the trouble, while another goes to retrieve the needed equipment. Post a wet floor sign until the area has been mopped and has completely dried. You may not notice torn carpet, but rest assured someone who trips over it certainly will, and they'll find it particularly memorable if they get hurt or spill their food. Use carpet tape or duct tape to make a fast, temporary repair. Make sure you tell a manager so that it can be permanently fixed when there's more time. Broken or damaged seats are another concern. It's important to frequently check all seats in an auditorium, and tape, rope, or put a bag over any seats that need attention. This will keep them from being used until you can notify the manager and a repair can be made. Lighting can go out at any time, inside or outside of the building, or even in a common area. If you need to use a ladder, use a ladder. Don't try to wing it with a chair or a trash can. And make sure you have help to hold supplies and keep you balanced. If it's not something you can handle or the bulbs aren't on the theater's immediate property, inform a manager. Make sure all exits, stairs, and hallways are clear of debris or other obstructions, and during inclement weather, be sure to shovel and de-ice areas if necessary. Snow and ice don't always stop people from coming to the movies. Of course, your best efforts cannot assure that there will never be an accident at this theater. If there is an accident involving a customer, start by offering all the comfort you can, but never administer first aid and never admit fault for the theater. Unless you're a doctor or an insurance agent, you may not know the exact treatment required or where any fault for the accident actually lies. We'll leave that to the experts. Quickly send another employee for the manager on duty and they'll handle the situation. And if there's an accident involving one of you, well, there's a chance it could be right in this area. With a hot popcorn popper, drinks being poured, cans being opened, you might call the concession area ground zero for employee-related accidents. It's vital that you clean up any spills immediately, know where the first aid kit is located, and regardless of the severity of an injury, always report it to the manager.
Of course, good safety efforts begin with prevention, and prevention begins before the theater is open for business each day. The doors must remain locked until the theater is open for business. And outside of recognized vendors and contractors, like this video crew, no one should be allowed to enter. Now be certain to check entrances to projection booths, and some doors, like offices and storage rooms, should always be locked. Keep this in mind too. Even though the theater is a fun place to work, it's not a place for you or your friends to hang out before or after hours. It's a place of business.
Night.
Now, if this were a perfect world, you wouldn't have to worry about getting in and out of the building safely. But we all know that it's not always a perfect world. However, through common sense, you'll greatly reduce your chances of any possible danger. The first person to arrive at the building each day, whether it be a manager, employee, or a custodian, should do an exterior inspection to look for any signs of forced entry. Now, avoid entering a building that appears to have been broken into. And it's also a good idea to avoid entering elevators and stairwells by yourself. Carry credit cards, keys, and the like with you instead of in a bag or purse. And if you have a purse or any other valuables, don't leave them laying in clear view in your car. Again, common sense. Now, what about going home, say, late at night? Well, you've heard it said that there's safety in numbers. Well, there's safety in light as well. Park in well-lit areas and have someone go with you. Look under and around your car as you approach it, and have your keys in your hands before you need them to start your car. If you see someone hanging around nearby, or if the car seems to have been tampered with, go back inside and call for help. If everything is okay, check the back seat and enter your car quickly.
Now, once in a great while, there could be circumstances at the theater that are beyond your control. The key is knowing what to do when such a situation arises. And at such moments, above all, keep cool. Although we do the best we can to control the weather, sometimes it just doesn't cooperate.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just got word that we are
Keep posted with the radio, and when management deems it necessary, inform the patrons of what's going on. The manager may decide to stop the films. Be sure that you know the safe areas of the building and make certain that everyone gets there during an emergency.
Okay, right this way, folks. Right this way. There's no need to panic.
Quick physics lesson. Movie theater plus fire equals panic. Now, your efforts to help control the crowd and execute a smooth evacuation are vital. After the fire department has been called, your next move depends on the job that you're doing. If you're stationed at the box office, call all emergency phone numbers, then secure any money in the area. Projectionists should stop all projectors and bring up the house lights before assisting with the evacuation. Ushers assist the customers to exit in an orderly fashion. At the concession area, turn off all the equipment and direct patrons outside the theater. The goal is to get everyone out of the theater in a quick and orderly fashion before the fire crew arrives, then the staff, and yourself. Now, always remember to exit people away from the point of danger. And in multiple level theaters, keep in mind that the elevators should not be working during a fire. All employees should gather at the predetermined safe point away from the theater to ensure that everyone is safely out of the building. Keep cool, and the fire department will take it from there. Now, if it's necessary, you can use the nearest fire extinguisher, but remember never to open a door with smoke flowing under it. And if the fire is large enough for the fire hose, leave it to the professionals. Finally, amidst the confusion, it's important to verify that the fire department has been notified. If they haven't been notified, do so.
Robberies. They happen, but statistics show that they rarely result in violence. Criminals are typically more interested in making a clean getaway with whatever they can get. But certain actions by employees can trigger violence. Bottom line, if you don't keep cool in one of these situations, you could endanger yourself, a coworker, or a guest. Here's a breakdown of what to do in a hold-up situation. It is vital that you follow these steps. Don't make any sudden movements. Always explain in advance that you're going to move before doing so.
I'm gonna open the
Speak in a calm, quiet voice and show no belligerence or sarcasm. If you can observe any details about the intruder, do so. but only with caution. It's not worth the risk to make direct eye contact. Never hand money directly to the intruder. Place it on a counter and take a step or two backwards, keeping your hands in view. Follow their commands to the letter. And whatever you do, don't be a hero. Once the incident is over, catch your breath. If you have a panic alarm at your station, now is the time to use it or call the cops. Be sure to maintain the crime scene and don't touch anything. Well, hopefully you now have a better idea about the importance of strong safety and security practices here at the theater and how to implement them. It's not a bad idea to watch this tape twice. As a matter of fact, ask your manager to walk through your evacuation procedures so that you're completely up to speed on them. Also, now's a good time to review your theater's manuals and handbooks regarding specific policies and procedures for things we've talked about today, as well as areas that haven't been covered.
In a nutshell, what have we learned? Let's review, shall we? First and foremost, security issues are often solved by common sense. So take the same precautions you would at home or if you were out shopping. And remember, be careful, be aware.
Check doors and lights. The spill is the enemy. Follow a robber's demands. And don't be a hero.
There's safety in numbers and in light. And keep cool.
And again, common sense. Use it and your chances of accident
Or incident.
are greatly reduced.
Oh, God. Can't believe I did that. Do you think the security camera's caught it?
I'll distract him while you clean up.
God, we're going to get in so much trouble.
Hooray for Hollywood! That crazy ballyhooey Hollywood!